because okay, so we're gonna do this at 2:06, and it's have content creators ruined gaming because they want to be the first one to really have the newest content for the newest game, and it forces developers to output massive amounts of content for a game. I do need to pop what grinds my gears. Come on with it. I go ahead, pop it up and pop the question. I agree with you. I think this is a great topic. I would love to. What grinds my gears? So what grinds my gears? I agree. So Pocket has a great topic here. You really do, Pocket. So let's just start at 2:07. And it's a great topic, man. So I mean, it really is has I mean, so really the topic at hand here is, have content creators made it so difficult for developers to keep up good content for games, and they're always seeking the next greatest game, right? So it's either the next greatest game, and can I get the most content out of it as fast as I can before any content creator, and do they suck the life out of a game and ruin it for other people in a sense? Modern streamers farm games for content. That is so I do not stream to become famous. I do not stream to be the first one to beat the game or the first one to find X, Y, and Z in the game. If I happen to be the first person to find something like that, super cool. I enjoy great conversations. I am playing Witcher 3 right now, and I'm playing this because I want to play this all over again. I've beat this game before. I want to play this game from the start, beat the game, beat the DLCs, which I've done already, and get ready for the new content to come out. But I will not be playing GTA 6 right away. So like GTA 6, when that's released, this falls under what Pocket is talking about. How most content creators are going to be all over GTA 6. If you're a small streamer, you're not going to get a lot of traffic. You're not going to beat the game more than likely before any of these mainstream big time content creators. They are looking for the right now immediate content right away and make it to be able to make it before anybody else does. You don't. I'm just saying the large streamers do, and they got to be large based on that business model. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you've got 4,000, 40,000 people in your stream, they're looking for the newer games. They want you to play these games. I have the luxury of, I average between 10 and 20 viewers. Sometimes I get raids and I'll end up with 40 and 50, maybe 60 on the best. I think the most I've ever had in my stream is like 50, 54. I could go look it up. But what we were kind of talking about was they're milking game, X game, such game for the content. Look how huge as a streamer as I am, and how quick I can beat this game, and I'll do this in the game, the 10 things you don't want to do when you start playing Witcher 3, or the top 10 things that you want to do before you play Witcher 3. Obviously, I'm just using this game because I'm playing this game. And that's great because even I do look up some of those videos like, oh, what are the things I don't want to do in a game, but does it ruin it for some players? Like I think in some sense it can. I don't think it does. Here's all the cheesy tips. Exactly. I think it can take away from the experience of a game for a gamer. Now, that being said, you as a gamer do have the luxury of not looking at those videos and playing the game the way you want to play it. This conversation started as, oh, what was the one you were talking about that's coming out? Uncrowned. I think it's a cool game, and I think it does look like a cool game, but me personally, like I was saying, I have found myself going back to single player games. I don't have to worry about rushing to get objective ABC done so I can get certain things, so I can keep progress with the game and I'm not losing progress and falling super far behind. Now, I'm not saying all MMOs are like that, but the multi-world side of it, a lot of them do kind of force your hand into that. That's why I was saying I find myself coming back to single player games recently a little more, because I have the luxury of playing at my pace, stepping away whenever I feel like stepping away, not worrying about the toxicity of certain communities, the tryhards and stuff like that. I do think that single player games have started to make a really, really big comeback. In the gaming world, and I think it's awesome. Like, for example, I'm playing Witcher 3, which I've beat all this downloadable content. I've been through all this, but I want to go through it again because it's a great game. And then I'm giving myself enough time by next summer, 2027, when they come out with the new content for this, I will be up to date. And I'll have a saved game, and I can do the new content, and then I can wait for Witcher 4, which they do plan on coming out with. So Pragmata is another one that I just recently played, which is a great single player game. I do keep going back to it here and there. Red Dead Redemption, that's another single player game that you can play single player, but it does have an online mode. There are games that give you the option of a single player and an online mode. It is hard for me to stick with, and Pocket was asking, am I going to play the newest MMO? Do I think I'll purchase the game and get into it? And my answer was no, because I'm finding myself falling back into single player games just because they are less life consuming, or aka soul sucking. Red Dead Redemption 2 is my backlog along with Witcher 3. Yeah, I mean, so you can play like World of Warcraft as a single player game. You can play Dune. They literally learned in the console version. They're coming out with a single player mode. I'm not saying that MMOs don't have their place, because there are content creators that are going to thrive off that content. But like Pocket said, the content creator is going to do the MMO. They're going to find all the tips and tricks, and then they're going to move on to the next game. It's even with a single player game, they're going to do the same thing. I believe it is a pretty standard practice in the gaming world that most games lose their majority fan base, their initial launch the game, right? They launch their game, they have this large increase of players that come through, whether it's 200,000 or 300,000, and then within the first 6 months, they lose anywhere from 80 to 90% of the player base. Just sinks down. And then that 10 to 5 player base is your long-time dedicated players that are going to continuously play that game. No matter what content you come out with, they're going to be around. That's where, like, Dune Awakening right now, there was 200,000 people. I actually know these numbers off the top of my head. It was like 190,000, 92,000 players. It dropped down to like 30,000 within the first like 3 months. And then since then, in the last year, it has bottomed out at about 5,000. And every time they come out with an update, it usually jumps up between 10 and 20,000 players, right? So you have your players that are your longevity players that are going to stick around. And then you have the ones that come back, kind of like what I am waiting for Chapter 4. And, you know, we are still dedicated players, but I would rather come and play something like The Witcher, which, even being an older game, is a great storyline, and there's new content coming out. And even with the content that I'm playing right now that I've already played, it's been years since I played this, and this is still a wonderful game. So, you can't say, oh, The Witcher's a dead game, because it's really a single-player game, and it's even really impossible for people to be like, oh, well, Dune's a dead game, or Winds Row is a dead game because it went from 200,000 players to 4,000 players, which actually I think it's like 8. It's just that the big initial wave of the game has hit, and now they're on a downslope, and it will come back up once they get new content into the game. The content creators will come back, they'll do new content, and then once they're done with their content, they move on. Do I consider myself a content creator? Not really, even though I do reviews. I like to do play tests. I like to find the games that are coming out. I'll do early reviews. I got one on Faithkeeper. I just did one on Valid Moral or something like that. It's on my YouTube. It's kind of like a Dark Souls first person. Pretty cool. I like the new games that come out, but again, I don't think that content creators are wrong for what they do, because that's what they do, especially the big ones where they make a living off of this. This is not my full-time job. I do not depend on this to pay my bills. I have fun playing video games. I've played them my entire life. I enjoy talking with people like Pocket and Raziel and Nerdbird and Renfield, and you know, I network, but I play what I want to play when I want to play it. So yes, to kind of go back to the main point of the question, was have content creators ruined gaming in a way? And I want to say they can ruin the gaming experience if you allow them to, by looking up their content to find out the top 10 tricks before you play your game, to find out how to get the best weapon in the game easily, right? They find the glitches and the hacks, or if it's not a glitch or a hack, they find, you know, the bogus way that you can cheese the system to get easy experience or level up, or easy money, you know, the money hack in game. So I don't want to say that they ruin the games, but if you allow them, by looking up their content, and that's all they care about, is finding stuff like that is going to be clickbait, really, right? That's going to suck in the people that want to play the game, beat it real fast, and don't want to enjoy the experience themselves and find certain things, then yes, content creators can ruin a game. Also, like I was saying, I am finding myself, because of the amount of content that the developers have to continuously put out in these games, I'm finding myself coming back to single player games. It allows me to play the game, enjoy the game, even a game like this, and I enjoy this type of game, come back to it and replay the game and enjoy the game for what it really is. Because I can say this game, I did not do every side mission. It was not one of those games I did. I beat every DLC, but I didn't do every side mission. I didn't do, like, strip this game down. I didn't 100% it. Pocket says, I think they can also damage the industry when studios listen to content creators pumping out games for their content because their investors are not the same as their interests are not the same as the gamer who is the real customer, not the content creators. And that's exactly me and Pocket are here bouncing ideas off of each other that are the same thing. That is ultimately the thing. Like, I think that you are correct in that category, that the developers can get invested and tied up into what the content creators are wanting and what they're saying and start making the game into that and compared to what it is. Yeah. I mean, this whole conversation really did start from I'm stepping away from open world online multiplayer games because I'm really tired of chasing the content that they continuously are pumping out. I can come back and play Witcher, which is a single player game, which I think has the story mode, and then I think it's 3 downloadable content setups. And then they're coming out with one. So I can go back over this, which I haven't played this game in years, and I love this content. The game looks great. The storyline's wonderful. It has tons of content. And then I'll be ready for the new content. And I find myself being an older gentleman with a full-time job, maybe, to get away from me, another, we'll just say, another person has a full-time job and they've got 2 kids and the wife and they can't play the MMO, like most people, so they can play a single-player game and it allows them to play the game at their pace. Most MMO games do not allow that for the average person. So ultimately, yeah, Pocket, I find myself coming back recently, falling back more and more, and I said this in my Discord a couple times recently, back to single player games because it does give me the freedom of, hey, give me a break, I'll be right back in 10 minutes. And you can do that with an MMO, but you can't, you step away for a little bit, like an extended period of time, and you come back and there's so much content because content creators are going through the content that the developers are pushing out so fast that they're pushing out update after update after update after update after update after update, and then an average gamer comes back and it's almost impossible for them to keep up with the content of the game. That's a really good topic, man. It really is. I think so. A lot of people can agree with that. Agree with me that the gaming world with the downloadable content has changed so much, because it used to be, hey, buy, Red Dead Redemption 1, play this game, and then, wait for Red Dead Redemption 2. Right? There's some Easter eggs, there's some things to find, blah blah blah, and it's not that anymore. It's get the game, beat the game as fast as you can, go online, find the cheap way to get certain things done, and then you do all that, and then you're stuck waiting for new content. Yeah, again, that's a great topic, man. Great topic. I'm gonna make sure I make this into a video. I don't want to put it as content creators have ruined gaming for the average gamer, but they have made it harder for developers to make a game that is going to stick around like Witcher 3 and have the longevity as Red Dead Redemption or 1 or The Witcher. Like Pragmata is a great example. That's a great game that is a single player game. They have not done a lot of updates, and you know, you can go back and play that again because it's got a new game plus. And they're not feeding constant continuous content out for the game, you know, every 3 months, every 2 months, every 4 months, whatever. You know, it's not that. It is just here's the game, play the game. We'll come out with some stuff later down the line. But yeah, I think that was a good topic, man. I hope that was a pretty good answer. Like I said, I've found myself coming back to these single player games, and I'm enjoying it. I will be still playing Dune, but I am waiting for the story mode in Dune, and Chapter 4, and I know that's not coming anytime soon, so I'm not holding my breath. But yeah, it's 2:28. I will end this. That's a good 20-minute little chit chat. Yeah, I think that was a great topic. I mean, and to any content creator, I'm not saying you've ruined gaming. I just think that it's a lot harder for developers to keep up with the content creators because there are so many of them, and they are just worried about making content to, you know, keep their pocket with money coming. So, good topic. Comment. Let's talk about it a little bit. You can rip me pieces. Rip me 2 pieces about how you feel about it. We can talk about it. I said 2:28. I'm gonna have to extend this. Pocket. You get a chance. Share this and spread it out. And let's talk about it. Maybe the developers will keep coming out with some single player games that have a great consistency, like The Witcher 3, which is coming out with 2027. Will be coming out with a expansion. It's not a DLC, and then they'll be coming out with The Witcher 4, a whole new game. So yeah, great topic. I appreciate the what grinds my gears, and yeah, the content creators, rushing to beat games and get out as much content as possible kind of does grind my gears because they force these developers into a corner that they have to continuously have new content for these games, and it's a little unfair to the developers because it's not like they just let's develop some content, it's only going to take a few weeks. Like, you got to give these guys some credit. This stuff does take time to code and put together, make sure that it's not super buggy, and some are successful and some aren't successful. So yeah, man, this is a great topic, and I will be posting this up